There were identities you learned early, not by being told, but by watching what settled the room. You learned which version of you made things quieter, which tone lowered voices, which posture kept disappointment from spilling over. So you became the calm one. You became the rational one. You became the good one, not as a performance, as a survival skill. At first, it was subtle, a softening in the chest, a holding of breath, a small delay before speaking. You noticed how quickly the air changed when you didn't need anything, when you didn't react, when you stayed agreeable, helpful, reasonable. It worked. The nervous system remembers what works. So the roles settled in, not as costumes, but as architecture. The calm one learned how to smooth edges. The rational one learned how to explain feelings away before they caused trouble. The good one learned how to anticipate needs before they were spoken. These weren't lies. They were intelligence. They kept you safe. They kept others comfortable. They kept the peace. And for a long time, they felt like you. Later, much later, the same identities were praised. You were the good son, the responsible partner, the reliable colleague, the caring manager, the one who could be counted on when things got tense. People trusted you. They leaned on you. They admired your steadiness. Inside, the body kept doing what it had learned to do, tightened just enough to hold everything together. This is how adaptations age into identities. What once protected the system slowly becomes the system, and still it worked, until it didn't. The first sign isn't a crisis. It's a fatigue that doesn't lift with rest, a heaviness in moments that are supposed to feel meaningful, a quiet resentment you can't quite name, a sense that you're performing competence instead of inhabiting yourself. You might notice it when you're praised and feel nothing, when you're needed and feel hollow, when you're alone and suddenly don't know who you are without being useful. This isn't failure. It's the nervous system realizing it no longer needs armor at this thickness. But armor once grown into doesn't come off cleanly. It leaves impressions. There's grief here, real grief, not for who you weren't, but for who you had to be. Grief for the calm one who swallowed urgency. Grief for the rational one who translated pain into palatable language. Grief for the good one who learned that being easy was a kind of love. These identities did not betray you. They showed up when no one else could. So the grief isn't dramatic. It's quiet, respectful, almost tender. You may feel it as a pause mid-sentence, as tears without a clear story, as a loosening in the shoulders when you finally stop explaining. This is the body saying thank you, and also, enough. Releasing these identities doesn't mean rejecting them. You don't have to disown the calm one. You don't have to dismantle the rational one. You don't have to exile the good one. They are gifts. Calm is still wisdom. Rationality is still clarity. Goodness is still kindness. What changes is the compulsion. You no longer have to be calm to be safe. You no longer have to be rational to be allowed. You no longer have to be good to belong. The armor can rest beside you now instead of around you. There may be moments when the old roles reach for the wheel, in conflict, in uncertainty, in rooms that feel familiar in the wrong way. That's okay. The nervous system doesn't forget overnight. It relaxes in increments. Each time you notice the urge to smooth, explain, or manage, and choose instead to stay, you're not doing anything heroic. You're just letting the body update. What remains when the roles soften is not chaos. It's presence, a quieter calm that doesn't suppress, a clarity that doesn't override feeling, a goodness that doesn't cost you your breath. You don't need to announce this shift. You don't need to justify it. You don't need to replace these identities with better ones. You're allowed to be less organized inside for a while. The peace they kept is no longer the peace you're seeking, and that's not a loss. It's a settling, a gentle unbuttoning, a room growing quiet, not because you held it together, but because nothing is bracing anymore. You can rest here. Nothing else is required.